You're still watching Prime Morning. My name is Roslyn Felly. It's time for the News Flash segment. Now, talking about that, today we'll delve into the newspapers and we'll delve into Ken Ofori-Atta's conversations. Now, for those of you who probably don't know much about that conversation, we'll definitely be giving you the genesis of it and how it has gotten this far. Now, today, we know there's going to be a hearing of Kenneth Ofori-Atta's issue in the United States. Now, he was detained or he was arrested by the ICE in the United States because of immigration issues. We also heard from our Attorney General that it wasn't so, but rather Ghana government reported him to the United States of America's government and hence the arrest. He's going to be brought back into the country, but that's not what the lawyers are saying. The lawyers are saying that is contrary to everything that the Ghana government is saying. We'll delve deeper into it and what the outcome of that conversation or of that hearing could be at the end of the day. Definitely, this conversation will be brought to you. But before that, I want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors. That's Franco Trading Enterprise, still Phone Papa Pafi. I always say whatever gadget you're looking for, authentic gadgets. I want to use that word because it's very important. Maybe you think you're going to buy fake. No, we don't do fake. It's all authentic. Come to us and we will serve you. If it is a mobile phone, television set, CCTV cameras, whatever you are looking for, fridges, washing machines, everything gadgets, we've got you covered. Just come to us, we'll serve you. If you also want to sit in the comfort of your home or your office or in traffic and also purchase, we've got you covered. All you have to do is to download the app on your phone, which is the Franco Trading app, to make things very simple, and we'll deliver it to you at your doorstep. For further inquiries, you can visit our website, which is www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Perfy. Now, I love what Koko Asante just did. For us journalists, we risk our lives so that we can bring all the information that you need. Sometimes we are attacked and you have no idea. Those of you who are attacked journalists, you think it's easy. It's not easy. Imagine you sitting in our shoes and you being attacked by other people. Very, very crazy. And so at this point, I love what Koko Asante did and we are very excited about it. Now, we are definitely going to be doing other things as well that you don't want to miss out on. And before we do that, we also want to make sure that you stay very, very healthy in 2026. Now, I recommend Koa Natural Fruit Juice to you. So make sure you grab your Koa Natural Fruit Juice. Enjoy it, and enjoy it. No additive whatsoever. It is absolutely natural, made for your own natural cocoa. And so maybe you've seen cocoa on TV, seen cocoa in pictures, or you've even seen it in passing, but you've never tried the juice. We have it. We have it for you. So make sure you grab your Koa Natural Fruit Juice and enjoy this particular year. Now, every day, someone in Ghana is diagnosed with leukemia and asked to travel abroad for treatment. This must stop. Join built Ghana's first center for hematology and clinical genetics. Donate to Leukemia Project Foundation. You can donate at Stanbic Bank, Silver Star Airport City. The CD account is 90400043568515. I repeat, the CD account for those of you who want to deposit in the CD account is 90400043568515. For those who want to do the dollar account, it's 90400042998889. Dollar 90400042998889. And for those of you who want to do EcoBank, we still are at Silver Star at Airport City. For the dollar account is 1441000144545. I repeat, 1441001, 44545. And for the dollar account, it's 3441001444544. I take it again at 3441000144544. And for MTN Momo, we still take a Momo. It's 054-501-3437, 054-501-3437. And for Telecel, we've got you covered as well. It's 020-069-5209, 020-069-5209. Now, this initiative is by the Joy News Impact Makers Foundation in partnership with the Leukemia Project Foundation. So I'm going to do the newspapers. But then before I do the newspapers, I want to ask this. Was 2025 a good year for your business? Was it? Is a question I'm asking. Well, in 2026, will it be the year of growth for your business? How can you ensure you do not miss the numerous Africa opportunities in 2026? Don't forget that you can join over 400 business and policy leaders as experts at Crystal Ball Africa 2026, reveal the opportunities and how to take advantage. Now, the date is Thursday, so this very Thursday, and that's January 22nd, 2026. It's happening at the Labadi Beach Hotel at exactly 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. The theme is the Africa opportunity, time to take advantage. Don't miss the chance to network and tap into new opportunities. Don't forget to register now to secure your spot at www.crystalballafrica. And the sponsors are EcoBank, Labadi Beach Hotel, AGI, Kawa Mocha, and also, of course, trust us as the media partners. That's Joy FM and City FM as well. Now, this event is powered by AB and David Africa. So, time for me to do the newspapers. And after I do the newspapers, we can go into our main conversation for this morning. So, I have my newspapers here. I'm going to start with which one do I start with? Let me do the New Finder newspaper first, the New Finder. So the New Finder newspaper reads, Ghana's gold reserves estimated at 146 billion US dollars, and this coming from CPS. Debt restructuring ripple effects hit Ghana's financial system, and this is coming from an analyst. Ghana to curb 127 billion US dollars revenue leakages with new AI customs too. And that will be it for the New Finder newspapers. The next newspaper is the Insight newspaper. The Insight newspaper. Election Watch demands police intervention to ease rising tensions in MPP primaries. Now, we've been promised by the candidates that they are going to make sure that there will be peace. But it looks like the tension keeps rising. We are praying that the tension will dwindle down so that we'll see, a very, very peaceful election. When my guests sit down, of course, but how many days more? 15 or 14 days more? We'll talk briefly about it and then we go into our conversation. Trade Minister hails fall in cement prices, thumbs up exchange rate stability. Timber monitoring team steps on powerful tools as police arrest aid. Central East Regional Police Command busts 3 suspects in car stealing syndicate. Adenta's new MCE moves to end school under trees permanently and also hoping that they fix the roads. Dear MCE, welcome. Thank you for promising to end schools under trees. But one of the biggest cry of the people of Adenta is the road. The road and the road. So if you have come, please fix the roads. Thank you. All right, so more stories here. Rekindle the flame of Pan-African solidarity. Veep urges Africa in historic visit to Guinea. United States gangsterism and bullying must be resisted on the streets, left parties in India declare. And that'll be it for the Inside newspaper. The next newspaper is The Overseer. The Overseer. NPA bought Lord's tour management for revamping operations. Now, talking about that, today is one of my good friends' birthday, and he is a PRO for tour, and he says, I'll be watching you. So, Godwin, good morning, Godwin Ayaba Mahama. Today is your birthday, so good morning to you. Happy birthday. May God grant you all your heart's desires, okay? We wish you the very, very best. And if there's a party, please don't forget to invite some of us. We'll be there. We'll show up. So happy birthday to you. May God bless you, Godwin. All right, so more stories in the Overseer newspaper. Black Rasta sued by Shatta Wale over 100 million Ghana cedis over fraud accusations. So he's been sued for 100 million Ghana cedis over fraud accusations. And yesterday, we saw how Black Rasta opened his show. It was trending. He was just over the moon, over the moon. Let's see what the case, the outcome of the case will be. GRA's AI initiative at ports to boost revenue by 45% at no cost to importers. Oh, really? Are you sure? Are you sure it's not going to be one of those things that we hear at no cost for importers or to importers, and the next thing is a year later the importers are bearing the cost? Please, oh, please, we are begging you. If you know eventually we'll bear the cost, we are begging you, don't bring it. Thank you very much. But if you know we'll bear the cost, thank you very much for not letting us bear the cost. Election Watch demands police intervention to de-escalate NPP primaries tension. Please contest to represent us well. Nima NDC grassroots appeal to Amina Adams. And I only believe in election day poll. And this is coming from Honorable Educhum. Honorable Educhum wants to become the next flag bearer for the NPP. We wish him the very best. The Daily Guide newspaper is the next newspaper. Heath Goldfields pays 136 million Ghana cedis liabilities to former workers. Ken opens wide lead in MPP race. Hey, really? Where is this one? Can I see it? Okay, they say Ken is opening wide lead. Okay, a new nationwide delegate survey on the new patriotic parties, that's 2026 presidential primary, shows the businessman and former member of parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Ohene Ejapong, in a clear and commanding lead, with the latest findings indicating a contest that has moved from post-election reassessment into consolidation. Wow. So we have a presidential aspirant in the studio, Janet Nabla, Asana, as I call her, is here with us. Good morning, Asana.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You are looking nice. Your dress is nice.
You too.
Yes, I like the pink and green.
Oh,
you matched it with the green pearls. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're looking really good.
Thank you.
Asana, from what the newspaper is saying, I just had to bring you in. They're saying that Ken opens a wide lead in the MPP race.
Let me greet you. Let me greet your viewers too this morning. That's okay. It's a nice polls. I have told people who want to contest that you must have your pollster who will come out and also say things to put you in the lead, because people usually listen to these polls and then they make a decision based on that. Someone who wanted to support you will say that, oh, I've heard that she's not even winning. So those who would have supported you will even, some of them will say, I won't even waste my time to go and vote. Others will say that, let me join the winning team. So polls are very important in elections. And we can see that during the NPP, NDC elections, as for the NPP, I don't know their communication machinery, how it was. But I think that they failed woefully. It's like they were disorganized. They were not ready for the elections. Then Global Info Analysis kept on telling Ghanaians that these people don't waste your vote. That was what it means. But they kept quiet, and truly, it pushed them to a situation that we've never seen before in this country. So what Ken is doing, I think I like it. Everyone who is contesting elections must have a pollster who will come out and say things positively so that it will encourage your members.
So whether it's true or not, the pollster must be able to say
it's not a matter of, because if I'm doing polls, I will do it according to what people will say about me. For instance, during the time that President Mahama, during the time that there was a problem with Tokunu, some polls came out that Info Global Analysis came out with polls that Ghanaians want the woman out. Jenna Foundation is my foundation. We also did polls. People said that no, the government should concentrate in implementing his policies and leave that woman alone. You see? So it was a conflicting these polls that I also brought out. I don't know the questions that Global Info Analysis came up with. But my research questions I asked, I also posted it on my social media page to let people know that people are not interested in President Mahama doing this vendetta thing. They want him to actually implement his policies so that their lives will be better. You understand? So you don't necessarily have to come out with lies. It depends on the questionnaire and how it is answered.
Okay.
So it's not lies.
It's not a lie.
No.
Okay. Okay. It's the questionnaire.
It's the questionnaire.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much on that one. So more stories here. Dubai, India accounts for 98% small-scale gold exports. NPP flag bearer race aspirants to sign peace pact, and I like it. Baumia beats peace drums, and this is very important. All right, so that'll be it for the Daily Guide newspaper. Our final newspaper is the Chronicle newspaper. The Chronicle. Ghana sits on 1.5 trillion US dollars in gold. CPS says so. Heath Gold Fields pays 136 million Ghana cedis to settle legacy worker liabilities. I'm not an alien in the NPP. This is coming from Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And ANRAG rejects legitimacy and monopoly claims, flags forest risk in raw rubber exports. And that will be it for the Chronicle newspaper. But the Chronicle always gives us a Bible verse. So I like to start my day with their Bible verse. And it reads, Matthew chapter 10, verse 33. Matthew chapter 10, verse 33. But whoever denies me before men, I'll also deny him before my Father who is in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I'll also deny him before my Father who is in heaven. And this is from the Chronicle newspaper. Thank you so much. And this is all we have with regards to the Chronicle newspaper, what they have for us, and all the newspapers as well. Now, this morning, we want to take a look at everything that is happening with regards to Kenneth Ofori-Atta. Now, Kenneth Ofori-Atta is Ghana's former finance minister. Now, this man actually was a finance minister for 7 solid years. Some people say he helped the economy, because if not for him, the economy would have been worse than what it was. For others, no, he rather caused financial loss to the state. Now, earlier last year, we saw the Office of the Special Prosecutor declaring him as a fugitive. We wanted him back in Ghana to answer a few questions. However, his lawyers made Ghanaians know that on health grounds, Kenneth could not return to Ghana because he had to be taken care of in the United States of America. Now, latter part of last year, or was it earlier this year, we heard that he had been picked up by ICE. That's Kenneth, had been picked up by ICE. Now, we heard it was about immigration issues. However, we also heard the Attorney General letting us know that it wasn't fully immigration issues, but rather a report by the Ghana government to the United States. Now, upon that, he was picked up, and his visa was even revoked as of June 2025. Now, further reports also make us aware that Kenneth did not leave Ghana in 2024 as was told to Ghanaians, but rather Kenneth entered the United States on May 28, 2025 on a visitor's visa with an expiration date of November 27, 2025. Now, Ofori-Atta overstayed his permitted admission in the United States of America, hence the arrest. Now, everything also says that today, being the 20th of January 2025, there's going to be a hearing on the case of Kenneth Ofori-Atta in the United States of America. Now, the Ghana government made us also aware that Kenneth had been moved from where he had been detained to a different place, but his lawyers denied it and made us aware that Kenneth is still there, and they have actually filed or appealed for an extension of his visa. Now, this morning, we are going to be talking about that and even many more. So make sure you don't miss out on it. You can send your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Now, I want to find out from Janet, who is a presidential aspirant, as to how she feels about the whole issue, because this has been almost a year conversation. So, Janet. How do you feel about how this whole Kenneth, arrest, detention, and all of that? How do you feel about it?
To me, I will look at it in two sectors. The first one has to do with a government that is in power, a government that came out with so many promises that Ghanaians were so happy about, and the government, they gave the government, the party a mandate, and now they have formed a government. The people are waiting for the government to implement the policies that he promised them, and whenever the people start to talk about the policies, they bring Ofori-Atta issue in. Then all those things will just go away. Ofori-Atta will take over the media space, and we talk. Immediately, Ofori-Atta issues start dying down, and then the people now remember that there was a government, a party that came out and made promises to us. Let's go back to those promises and make sure he implements it. He brings us back to Ofori-Atta. For one good year, Ghanaians have been here fighting and talking about Ofori-Atta. And all these things are engineered by a government that doesn't want to do the right thing. When you want, they are not interested in fighting crime. They want to fight human beings. Because look at America. Do you know that today the hearing is going to be by virtual?
Yes, it's virtual.
In America, no one go around going to work and other things. After the coronavirus, even Ghana here, Standard Bank, when you go in there, it's like a decent. Majority of the people are working at home because people are trying to use technology. But one of the things I've realized about us, black people, whenever you are in a position, your main aim is to use the position to hurt others, to let people struggle.
So do you think the Office of the Special Prosecutor, as of that time, that Kent's lawyers were actually requesting for a virtual interrogation, he should have permitted that?
If you want to fight crime and not Ofori-Atta, because they just want to bring Ofori-Atta into the country, put him in the Yoko detention camp and be telling people, we have arrested, and you get what? Or OSP, if the man said he wanted virtual, and you are not fighting Ofori-Atta, you are fighting corruption, what prevented us from taking that initiative? What prevented us? Oh, I'm not feeling well. Africa, we know that. Immediately you bring that one in. And we knew, before even Ken went to US, we knew that he wasn't feeling well, didn't we? We knew. So for even our own tradition when it comes to sickness, because no one calls sickness upon he or herself, it comes when it wants to. So if you say that, oh, Ken says he's not feeling well, so we will give you the virtual, because you are going to interrogate. If not because of wickedness, why would you want someone to use money to buy an air ticket, come to Ghana here, sit down for you to ask the person questions, and then go back to treat herself? It just shows that Ghana and Africa, whenever someone is given a position, the main aim of the person is the position. The person is not thinking of how to better lives of people. He's thinking about how can I use this to harm my enemies? How can I use it to make people's lives uncomfortable? Next time they will know that I was here. You don't do that. And that is what happened. Look at even in US, they are holding a virtual court proceedings. Every day we will see our judges dressing in their going to sit over there. What prevents them from even staying at home at times? I cannot come, I'm not feeling well, and do virtual meetings, because this platform have been created and we will have to utilize it. We are all talking about technology. What prevents us from taking this opportunity to do what is needful? So what I'm saying is that we are not ready to fight crime. Ghana, they are not interested in fighting crime. When you want to fight crime, whether virtual or physical, it will not prevent you. Will the OSP tell me that if he's doing a virtual investigation and she's asking Ofori-Atta questions, it will prevent, because it is virtual, it will prevent him from asking the necessary questions. Someone told me that, he wants to, after that, they wanted
an in-person.
Yeah, so that they can arrest, in case he's done and they want to arrest him. Because he's sick, you could have still told him that because you are sick, I'm putting an arrest on you, but you are not here. So we are using it as a process to file for blah, blah, blah. This is the amount that have been put on your head. So if you can let people to come in and do this and that, it is so fine. It makes people to realize that Ghana, we are not fighting human beings. Ken Ofori-Atta have done nothing personally to us. It is about this country and resources that he took care of that we want him to be accountable. To be accountable, the man is alive. He said, I can be accountable. I'm not feeling well. What prevented us from doing that? All this brouhaha. It's a campaign, this is strategy, because we don't need this. If I want to do something, I will even be nice to you. No one will hear that Ken Ofori-Atta have been done this and that and that.
What standards do you think should be used in terms of health when it comes to issues like this?
Health?
Yes. No. What standards should be used? Because, you know, like you're saying, he spoke about his health, what prevents this, what prevents that. What standard would you have brought in?
The only standard is the doctor writing to us that she's not feeling well. And the doctor, they did that. And they said they did not mention the particular sickness. It is against medical practice and the law of this country for joy to know your sickness. Do you know that? So whenever they get into power and they have power and they talk anyhow, at times it pains, because it is not the responsibility whether I was a finance minister or not. My personal life is my personal life. Ghana cannot know, no one can know about the sickness that I'm carrying. So Ken Ofori-Atta doesn't owe Ghanaians any explanation to what is like, I'm having a kidney problem, I'm having a liver. No. The doctor saying that he's under medical care. The fact that you've seen, if you have a problem with that, send the doctor to court. Do you understand? Ken Ofori-Atta, he is done. Haven't you seen that hospitals are sent to this thing? Because I remember a particular person came to our hospital and then she said she was pregnant. She brought a resource to us that she was pregnant. And finally there was a case and we were hijacked to court. We went there and we told the court what we saw. She came with a pregnancy test and we told her that we will have to do our own pregnancy test to be able to ascertain your pregnancy. And she did not come back. And finally she gave birth and then there were complications. You see, we told them what happened. But we can't go into details. And then what? No. If the court has a problem with the judge, then the judge with the doctor, then the judge can come out and say that. But the fact that you got a letter from the hospital that Ken Ofori-Atta is not feeling well, he's under medical treatment, that is the standard professional way. If we are living in a non-military country, where they are using constitution, they are using democracy to work, like how other countries they are dissing. This country, this is not democracy. This is people who are wearing suits, yet they are using booze to rule.
This has been running for almost a year now, and I just want a fair answer to this. Do you think due process has been adequately followed by Ghana government and the U.S. government?
No, the U.S. government has got nothing to do with it.
Okay.
The Ghana government has not used any due process. They have been unprofessional. They have allowed people.
But this is the case whereby you have heard the Attorney General saying that they actually reported him to the U.S. government.
No, you reported him for what? That is the unprofessional way of doing things. Must you go there? Are you aware that you are exposing your own country to the U.S.? You don't know? Because when you do this, then the U.S. will say, what is happening in that country? Then they check and saw that the same Attorney General gave nolli prosequi to his people who have huge amount of money, more than what is with Ken Ofori-Atta. Yet the same Attorney General can give nolli prosequi to his own people. And now he's following this man. This is witch hunting. You won't know. Because when you are carrying some demeanor, I want to expose, you don't know that you end up exposing yourself. But I would say that the reason why I have a difficulty with the Attorney General, when they came and said they wanted to fight crime, we were all supporting. Because fighting crime is good. It deters others from doing what their predecessors did. And it will help all of us. Look at how our hospitals...
How would you have handled this case if you were in power?
If I were to be in power, when Ofori-Atta said, I can do a Zoom meeting, we just take it. We do the Zoom. If we finish with the Zoom and we need to charge him, we will tell him that you are on this, we are arresting you, but because you are not feeling well, no one will even hear this issue. A person who actually wants to fight through crime will not come to the media space and be making the noise that the Attorney General made. Because you are not fighting against the human beings. You are fighting against crime. Crime is well fought when it is done in silence. When the person you are fighting with sees that, he likes me, but then when it comes to this one, he's very stern on that one. You understand? You give the person all the necessary apparatus so that the person cannot end up saying that, I was ill-treated, I was not. No. You give the person the needed a due process to be able to assess things. For instance, the person said, I can do Zoom. You said, no, you must come. It's like we have even thrown our culture to the dogs. Today, you've heard that there's going to be a picketing at the American Embassy. Those who are doing the picketing, Star Ghana, right? Mm-hmm. Star Ghana, they were in this country when the Attorney General gave nolli prosequi to NDC members. But because Arise Ghana, because Arise Ghana is majority of their membership comes from the NDC, they never opened their mouth. In fact, they went on a vacation when the Attorney General gave a nolli prosequi to NDC members. All of a sudden, the same movement are now at, what is it called? They are now picketing against Ofori-Atta. This is injustice. These are not the type of movements we want in the country. Political movements that are very selective. When their government is in power, they will still even be fighting opposition. It is shameful. Okay. Very, very shameful. And if I were to be the American Embassy, I will release dogs on them so that it will chase them out of that place.
They seek permission.
It's not a matter of permission. I will look into
Ghana police as well. So they have permission to picket. That's their rights.
That's why I'm saying that if I were to be the American, I will follow through the thing and release dogs on them so that it will chase them out of that place.
Janet. Anyway, Janet, I'll ask you this question before I go on Zoom because Richard Nomanyo is joining us and he's a constitutional lawyer. So I'll come to you very soon, Richard. But you know, I'm reading this from, it's an article here, and it says former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been declared wanted by the Office of the Special Prosecutor after leaving Ghana in early January 2025 for medical treatment. Now, when ICE actually arrested him or, detained him, this is what it was said, that Ken left Ghana May 28th, 2025. So as of January, that we were being told that he had fled Ghana, it looks like he was in Ghana.
You see, yesterday I was in one of your sister stations, and they were talking about President Mahama saying he's going to bring 100 buses by March. And I said, until the buses come, I won't believe in anything they say. They told us that they were going to help in giving us 600 cheap compounds. We never saw it. 50,000 teachers. They said they will employ 50,000 teachers in 2025. We've not seen it. They spoke about the Women's Bank, nothing. So many things they've said that we should not be paying too much attention on this government, what they said. I saw someone writing that they need, MPP must get a good communication consultant. I said, no opposition political party needs any consultant. You just have to make sure you don't believe in what the NDC says until it is proven otherwise. Look at what the information they gave us. How can you see?
That was from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. That was the information from the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Are they not, he's there with them, was he not with them? When they came, they were all together until they fought recently. So they were together doing their things, trading information. But what happened? At the end of the day, every information that was given is not true. It has found it is not true. So let's know. To me, with whatever they said and all the things that they said they have done, let's not pay attention. Look at when they arrested Ken Ofori-Atta. They told us that they arrested him in Ghana government, blah blah blah. You saw the charge sheet. It has nothing to do with them. They were just lying. So how can you come into governance with the expectation that you are going to lie your way out? It will not work. No matter how you allow lies to run, when the truth comes, it undo all the lies that you have created. So I think that we should be very truthful.
All right, thank you so much. Victoria Abdullahi has also joined us, and Victoria is the Ayawaso West Wuogon Constituency Women's Organizer. Good morning, Victoria.
Good morning, Muslim.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Great.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go on Zoom right now and have a word with Richard Kwame Nomanyo, and then I come back to you. So good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Rosalind.
How are you?
Today? I'm fine, thank you.
Right.
And good morning to your viewers and the panelists in the studio as well.
Thank you so much. Now, Richard, this detention, we keep hearing different stories and all. I just want to find out from you so that the ordinary Ghanaian can understand. Is this more of an immigration matter or is it a step towards extradition?
All right, thank you. It is important to note that when you are arrested by ICE and detained, it has to do with immigration issues. So, immigration issues are distinct and separate from proceedings of extradition. Extradition is handled by a federal district court because it has to do with law. That is to say, international law. So, in terms of extradition, the court you are taking to is a federal district court. Now, when it comes to DHS, that is Department of Homeland Security, or Immigration and Custom Enforcement, those matters go to immigration court. And the immigration courts are not a normal court. They are the administrative courts within the buildings of the Department of Justice. And these ones are more of a single judge sitting on the matter in an office. So not the traditional courts. So this morning, if Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta has a hearing and then he'll be taken to an immigration court. So let's not confuse the two.
All right. Please continue, sorry.
Yes, let's not confuse the two because these two processes are distinct. When shows up at the immigration court, they are considering his removal. That is, if that is the process before them today. 2, his lawyers can also apply for bail for him at the immigration court to indicate that this person you have detained is not a flight risk. He's not just a mere person. Let's also bear in mind that Ken Ofori-Atta is a former finance minister. Apart from that, he's a business magnate. And we have also heard that he has applied for status adjustment. When we say someone has applied for status adjustment, what it means is that the person entered with a visa and he's now attempting or trying to convert his visa into a permanent resident. And we all heard sometime last year that the acquisition of green card has been broadened. If you have a certain capital, you can make an application for green card and you can be given. So if he appears before the immigration court this morning, it's either his lawyers have made an application for his release or he's appearing for his removal proceedings to commence. So when ICE arrests you, the next point is that you are detained. While you are detained, they commence removal proceedings, which is in ordinary parlance, is deportation.
Okay.
So the removal proceeding itself is been a process. The removal proceeding is a process.
Now, I just want to find out the rights that he has as he's in detention under the U.S. law.
Oh, yes, he has a right to defend himself.
Okay.
He has a right to appoint a lawyer of his choice. And we've already heard and read that he has appointed some lawyers who are working for him. So, of course, he will appear with his lawyers and he has a right to make a case. So, for me, I'm looking at it from this angle. It's 2 things. 1, either the judge will indicate that let's hold on, let's grant him a bail pending the determination of his status adjustment.
Okay.
Or they will say, okay, the determination has already been made. We find you removable. That is to say that you can be deported. Then you are deported. So this is what will take place at the immigration court. Okay. It will have nothing to do with his or extradition. This is totally separate.
I see. Anyway, so, he was declared a fugitive, and we all want to understand, what qualifies someone as a fugitive under the Ghana law, and also what happens with refusal of his return.
You see, this fugitive declaration, at some point it was withdrawn. I stand to be corrected though, because when the red alert was issued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, at some point he withdrew that. That is when he started communicating with the lawyers, and letters were coming in that he was unwell and all that. That was withdrawn. Now, to brand someone as a fugitive, simply put, it's a person that is running away from justice. A person who has committed an offense and he's so badly wanted and is running away. That is the person whom you consider a fugitive. Okay? But for me, the moment we start branding the person as a fugitive, in all senses, it looks like the person is already guilty. So for me, I've had a problem with that aspect of the approach. For instance, Stedina Tamaklo, she was tried abstention. They proceeded to try her without her presence. So we can actually equally do same for Ofori-Atta.
Okay.
In any event, he has appointed lawyers who have been speaking for him all this while. So mean that if there's a date for court, they can proceed. And in criminal proceedings, as a matter of fact, you are not obliged to speak. You can even decide to say that throughout the proceedings, I will not talk.
Right. Prove
my guilt. That is the beauty of the criminal proceedings. So it is not a matter of we need to have him before we can start the process. That is not it.
Right.
Unless there are other administrative aspects that they feel they require his presence. And to some extent, I agree with them requiring his presence in the sense that, we need to accord him some dignity. He's a former minister of state. And I find all this process, to some extent, embarrassing. As a matter of fact, there's somebody who has served in a high office. So he needs to be honored. And I believe that they granted him that opportunity, except that he has failed to come in. That is why probably it has traveled to this level. Otherwise, it shouldn't be the case.
Right. What could the possible outcome of today's hearing be?
Yes. We are looking at either the immigration court will say that, yes, based on you overstaying your visa, with immediate effect, you are deportable or have granted your deportation. So an arrangement should be made to deport you. Or two, upon his lawyers making the case, the immigration judge can say, okay, based on what has been said on your behalf, we are going to put this process on hold, pending the determination of your status adjustment. Because we are told you have applied to adjust the status, which is an application for a green card. So meaning that if the green card is granted, it becomes a permanent resident of the United States. Yes, so, and then three, the third point is that it can also be granted bail. Pending the determination, that is pending the hearing, it can be granted bail. So these are the three things we are envisaging.
Okay.
Yes.
So hopefully either will happen, right?
Either will happen.
All right. Richard, thank you so much for helping us this morning to understand that. I don't know if you're not too busy. I could come back to you to ask you more questions so you could stay on. And then I have some conversations with my guest in the studio. Is that okay?
Very well, that's fine. Now stand by.
Thank you so much. So I'll come back to you. So to you, Victoria, you just joined us this morning. I want your take on it. So today we are going to get into the hearing of Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, he being in the United States, this particular issue, from even what Richard is saying, is a complete immigration issue. Because if ICE arrest you, it has nothing to do with other things. It's more of your immigration, your passport, your visa, and that's what it is. But we are hearing different stories from the Attorney General that, his visa was revoked at a point in time and all of that. But it looks like today the hearing we are going to hear is more of immigration issues.
All right, I would like to say a very good morning to your viewers and also to my sister Janet here. And greetings to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, the nation builder. You know, the issue of Ken Ofori-Atta, our former finance minister, is a matter that could have been resolved. I don't know why we are still on this case, and I don't know why today the U.S. government is calling on him for immigration violations and other things. For me, as an individual, I think that the OSP started on a good note with this investigation moving smoothly, quietly and silently until the lawyers of Ofori-Atta preyed on the OSP, seeking an inquiry into 12 men that were allegedly, they forcefully entered his home to conduct a search. And so that made the OSP come publicly with a press conference where he took his time to take Ghanaians through the processes, how he invited the former finance minister and how his lawyers also responded. And clearly, you could see that from the onset, when Ken Ofori-Atta, the finance minister, left this country on the 2nd of January, and also subsequently the call on the OSP for him to come and assist in investigations concerning some corruption-related cases that had been leveled against him. The response from his lawyers clearly indicated that he wasn't ready to appear here for any investigations to be conducted. And that is why we are here today. We should also bear in mind that the actions of our former finance minister has created a big toll on a lot of Ghanaians. Some of his decisions, which as a result caused some members or some citizens to lose their lives. We have evidence of some bondholders who lost their lives due to the fact that debt exchange programs and bonds that they had invested money in were unpaid. These are actions that we cannot undermine as a people. I am more interested in the fact that if you present yourself for public office, you must also present yourself for accountability. When you are enjoying the privileges as a minister, you are being paid with taxpayers' money. And so when it's time for you to come and account to the people, you have to do so.
But he was willing virtually.
Virtually? To what extent? Is that the normal procedure? We have had former finance ministers who have faced trial in this country. We saw our current finance minister who faced trial, and he was eventually acquitted and discharged. If there is nothing that our former finance minister is hiding, why doesn't he avail himself?
If we take a look at Sedina was actually tried in absentia. So it means that it can't be done.
You see, we have to look at the issues. Sedina was director for Maslow. Ofori-Atta is a finance minister. He was a finance minister. Look at the charges that have been leveled against him. Contract arrangements between the SMG, the termination of distribution and loss reduction, and some corruption-related activities associated with network improvement contract between the PXC, a Chinese company, technology company. And then we are also looking at procurement of contractors and materials and activities and payments in respect to the National Cathedral. We all know the issues of the National Cathedral. To date, we haven't seen the National Cathedral.
That all these can be questioned.
And then activities and payments in respect to contracts around the ECG.
So some people feel this is actually a political gimmick, because I read to Janet earlier that the Office of the Special Prosecutor, early January 2025, made us aware that Ken left Ghana early January 2020.
2nd January.
Good. Thank you very much. I like that clarification. 2025.
2025.
Right? Fantastic. Now, when ICE arrested him, this is what was found. Ofori-Atta entered the United States on May 28, 2025, on a visitor's visa with an expiration date of November 27, 2025. But we were told that he left for the United States 2nd of January 2025.
What about the lawyer's responses that he was in a hospital in Virginia? His lawyers.
So who deceived?
Who is deceiving us?
So both lied to us? Is that what it is? Is it that we Ghanaians are the ones who are to play here?
You see, Ken Ofori-Atta was invited by the special prosecutor. His lawyers responded to the call and stated that he was in the United States seeking treatment. If you look at the press conference that the special prosecutor held, he stated that he is not in a position, from the indication, from the letters that the lawyers wrote to him, nothing signified that he was incapable.
People are of the school of thought
of attending to the call.
People are of the school of thought that is a game being played to Ghanaians. In the eyes of Ghanaians, work is being done, but actually work is not being done.
We have to compare what ICE is saying with our immigration. If ICE is saying he entered the United States in May, what is the Ghanaian immigration saying? Because we have the records. He left through Kotoka International Airport.
On 2nd of January.
Obviously.
To the United States of...
To the United States, so we can confirm from our own immigration. It could be that ICE is playing with us. That could be the case.
ICE will play with us.
It's possible. It is possible. And so if our records and the lawyers of Ken Ofori-Atta are telling us that he was in the United States as of February 10th, when they wrote to the OSP, stating that he was seeking medical treatment, then we should rather investigate from our immigration when Ofori-Atta left the shores of this country. That is the argument we should be having right now. In any case...
Could it be? And I'll ask again, could it be?
I want us to do the facts.
Ken came to Ghana. Because I gave you facts.
Okay.
And because of what you have and what I have.
That's what ICE is saying.
Yes,
okay.
That's what ICE is saying. And I'm giving you a fact from ICE. Could it also be that Ken came to Ghana at a point in time and left Ghana again in May and there was no arrest done?
Let's do all the checks from immigration.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
Let immigration state to us.
We'll definitely get
Ken
that.
came, when he left, when he came, let's do that investigation.
But from what ICE is saying, Ken entered the United States on 28th of May, 2025. The Office of the Special Prosecutor made us aware Ken left Ghana 2nd of January, 2025. Who is lying and who is telling the truth? Anyway, I'm just hoping that...
Rosalind, I would like to state that.
Yes.
When you are oblivious to the pain that you inflicted on people who are humans just as you are, when judgment calls on you, you have to answer.
All right.
And that's what I have to say to Ofori-Atta and his team.
Okay. Let me speak with Selom Dramani. Is it Dramado? I hope I got it right. Dramado. He's a convener for Arise Ghana. Good morning, Selom. Selom, kindly unmute yourself for us. Selom, if you can take off the earpiece so that we can hear you. I think that the earpiece is a bit of a hindrance. Selom, so Selom is the convener for Arise Ghana. Arise Ghana made us aware that they are going to be picketing the American embassy today because they want Ken to be brought back to Ghana. They have sought the approval of Ghana police and also the authorities at U.S. Embassy. So today from 8 a.m., you will see Arise Ghana picketing at the United States of America Embassy, which is located at Cantonment today. So if you are driving around that side and you see them in their red, that's what it is about. Selom is one of the people or the voices making sure that Ken is brought back to Ghana to answer questions with regards to our economy that some people say collapsed at a point in time. So Selom, I don't know if Selom's line is better now. If it's not, I come back into the studio and I think Janet has written down a few points. And okay, so Janet, I know you were jotting down a few points here and there too.
Actually, I was on.
You were on what? Sorry, you were on.
Okay, so you know, when she was making her submission, she said they are now waiting for the immigration information. Since when have we had this information in the system? Don't you think they should have come out now to correct whatever was made wrong? Because the information, how many minutes will it take you? Because you are those who appointed the head of immigration to that place. So just a phone call will be able to give us the correct information. You are from government. You are not like me. When you come here, when they invite you to this station, you are here to give information to wrong narratives or to correct wrong narratives. But today, still, we are here and we are not having information from your government, and I don't think it is right at all. Whilst making her submission, you could hear her. I told you that we are not fighting personalities, but they are fighting personalities. It is not crime they want to fight. Their target is Ken Ofori-Atta, and that is not how we fight.
But what has he done to them?
They said that he built cathedral, he did this one, all these things that he did. He was a finance minister. When they give you a job, you have a job criteria. There's not any accountant in Ghana who is loved in the company. People hate accountants. When you go to every company, people point fingers at the accountant because their money is with her or him. So if he tries to be distributing it anyhow, a time will come when they will be looking for money to pay salaries and they won't get. So accountants are usually stingy. That one we know.
But looking at the allegations brought forward, you know, the amount of money that was pushed into the National Cathedral, then you say, from what you're saying, that, you know, at that point, maybe he wasn't stingy.
No, but when you look at the National Cathedral, there was a board, and the board were those who took all the decisions. Do you understand? I have gone there to look at things. I don't even know why the National Cathedral is a problem for the NDC. But I want the NDC to know that in 2029, January 7th, if the PMP comes into power, we are going to build the National Cathedral for God. We are going to use the taxpayers' money to build the cathedral. And anyone who will not like it and want to leave the country can leave. What is wrong in building a house for God?
With the taxpayers' money.
With the taxpayers' money. Of course, the taxpayers' money is what we are going... Whatever I do, because I contested and I won on behalf of what? I am going to put it in my manifesto that when I win, I will complete the house of God to make sure that people who are into occultism, to make sure that witchcraft activities in my country will not be perpetuating, to make sure that people weep in line with doing the right thing.
Are you saying there's witchcraft in the country? Because we have enough churches,
we have enough churches. What are they doing? Those churches, majority of these churches are even into those things, and then they cover things up. So when they are into demonic practices, and then they call it God. So when my party comes, the National Cathedral is one of the things we are going to put up and make sure that correct ministers are trained and make sure that you can't just get up and call yourself a pastor and start building a church. So I've not seen anything wrong. I've gone to the National Cathedral and I've seen that men of God of reputable character were picked to be board members of this. And when you look at the things, when you go there, there's a secretariat too. We went there, we even sat in one of their boardrooms to do a meeting. So to ask them questions pertaining to this. And they said, we don't know why they are making noise. Even Deloitte came out and did a forensic audit on our books.
But Janet, will it be fair to say that with regards to the National Cathedral, we as Ghanaians were told that it wasn't going to be the taxpayers' money? So once you have the taxpayers' money,
no,
it should be
I see no reason why they would tell you that. When I make promises, my promises are geared to the checked.
That's your promise. That wasn't their promise.
What I'm saying is that my promises, like my campaign promises, are going to be with the taxpayers. Where am I going to get money to come and build a cathedral? Nowhere. So whatever I do, the blessings I get is for the country. I now stand in front for the country. So when I build a cathedral for the people of Ghana, I build it in the name of Ghanaians. When there are going to be blessings, my blessings are going to be blessings of for Ghana.
But do you think Ken should account for that?
He shouldn't. If there are corruptions that went on in the bid to build the cathedral, we should look into it and make sure that those who have done corruption things are punished. But if the things were done, why should anyone punish Ken for trying to build a cathedral for Ghana? Is it a cathedral for Nanado? No, a cathedral for Ghana. Things that are for Ghana Ghana should pay. And you know that when the NDC came, they said they wanted to change it into a Watakura center, that something, and I said no. We contributed. At the Presby Church, we contributed. So if you use it for a cultural something, the NDC will pay me my money, because I did not pay my money to the Presby Church to use it for cultural center.
How much money did you contribute to it?
If you look
for you in particular?
Oh, no. They said we should, when the text messages of 100 Ghana citizens, everyone paid.
Okay.
Everyone paid. Churches were encouraged. They encouraged their members to come out and pay. Our church was, when you check through the list, you will see the donation that Presby Church did. I pay my tithes at the Presby Church. For that matter, if they use my money to pay for a cathedral, and a government comes in to say that he wants to change it into a cultural center, what I will say is that give us our money, because in the church I did not contribute money with the mindset of using that place to turn into a cultural cultural center. So NDC people, truth be told, I don't think Ken should be the way they are dealing with Ken. If Ken has done something that is not right, let's call him out and let him come out to answer. Not using a flight to come here when he's not feeling well.
Okay.
We can do it through Zoom.
Okay. Jenna says we can do it through Zoom. I don't know, is Selom is back? Is Selom back? Okay. Selom, let's try again and see if, or mute yourself. Let's see if we can have a conversation. Can you hear me now, Selom? All right. So you let me. Okay, is Richard on though? Okay, so let me talk to Richard then. If Richard is on, Richard, it's getting heated here, I must say. Richard, are you there?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, should Ghanaian courts consider, alternative means of bringing him back to Ghana?
Alternative means of bringing him back to Ghana. I don't think there would be any other alternative means apart from the extradition.
Okay.
Extradition is a legal process.
Okay.
And it's an arrangement that is between states, that exists between states. And it's actually not the first time that process is being adopted. So there has been an extradition process regarding Immediate in Atamako. So when she was arrested, we read that she was arrested based on the extradition proceedings. So as it stands now, it's like Ofori-Atta. I don't think there's any other process we can use to get him to Ghana apart from extradition. And the other aspect, which is what is being commenced this morning, that is the immigration court process today, the immigration hearing. So like I said already, the immigration court is not an automatic deportation. That one is clear, because they've said that they are attempting to adjust systems.
All right.
So the government of Ghana cannot rely solely on the immigration proceedings. So it is the extradition that they need to pursue.
Okay.
And you see, we need to also take note of the fact that extradition process is not that simple. The court is handled by a district court. And what they will do primarily is to see if the evidence submitted support the charge against him. So if the judge's wisdom, the evidence submitted does not support the charge against Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, it will not fly. Now, even if the court grants the extradition, or the court says, okay, based on the evidence before the court, we see that you need to go back and then respond to this allegation. It is now lies with the Secretary of State. So the Secretary of State must now okay it before he's extradited. So it's a whole process.
Okay, now talking about that, I want us to get to know what precedent this particular case is going to set. Is it going to set for future corruption or accountability cases?
Rosalie, I must state unequivocally, I find this very embarrassing. This shouldn't be. We shouldn't go through this kind of process at all. If you're a leader and you have said, there should be some way of accounting or handing over. It is proper. Even those who have contested JCR president and SRC president, they are called or they are hauled before audit committees. We have seen those things happen in our cycle institutions and our universities and all that. It is unfortunate. It doesn't set a precedent. And I don't want to sound political. I also feel that it will not augur well for the reputation of the MPP. In my view, it's not a proper precedent. It shouldn't happen at all. Right. So if Ken is doing this, there's a tendency another politician can also do things, and it will go on and on and on. It's not good for our country and our democracy.
All right. So on that note, do you think we should find another way of trying him then?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, criminal proceedings, you, the accused person, you can decide, I will not speak at all. That is our criminal jurisprudence for you. So they should proceed. In any event, he has lawyers. His lawyers have been speaking for him. And in any event, he's been served with processes. And even he issued a letter. His lawyers wrote on his behalf to the Attorney General's office and indicated that they have been appointed as his lawyers. Therefore, if they have any correspondence, they should channel all those correspondence to their offices. And they have been speaking to him. They wrote letters to say that he wasn't well. So they should issue a court date. They should go to court. If they will make application for virtual hearing, they should make an application for virtual hearing.
All right. Thank you, Richard. I'm going to try and speak with the convener for Arise Ghana as well and hear what he has to say. Today, they are picketing at the United States of America Embassy, which is located at Cantonment. They are starting their picketing at 8 a.m. on the dot. And so if you want to join them, you can join them. If you're also using that area, please, I can assure you there'll be traffic at that area. So Hello. Please avoid that area. Yes, Salom, you're here. Good morning. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, good morning and good morning to your esteemed viewers and listeners.
Thank you so much. Are you at the American Embassy already?
I'm here. We are here at the American Embassy.
All right. So to everybody watching us this morning, kindly give us the reason why you are picketing there this morning.
We are picketing the American Embassy today primarily because of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, who is evading accountability and justice. So we are appealing to the American government or the American authority to repatriate, extradite or deport Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta to Ghana for him to face justice and accountability.
So
or for him to account to the good people of this country what he did as the former Minister of Finance and Economic Planning.
So what will this action mean to the entire case?
You're asking what would the action mean to the entire
case, the Ken Ofori-Atta case?
Oh, okay. So this one, we are just demonstrating to the entire world that the gentleman who is sojourning in the United States of America has done a lot here in Ghana, which have been injurious to the economic well-being of many Ghanaians. So therefore, he must be deported to Ghana for him to face accountability and justice.
Okay.
Because he cannot evade justice, he cannot evade accountability. He must come to Ghana to actually do things to be in sync or in tandem with his faith that he likes to display by quoting biblical scriptures. He must come to Ghana to account.
It seems Arise Ghana is very interested in this particular case. Why so?
Arise Ghana is interested in this particular case because at the time Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta was the finance minister and economic planning minister of Ghana, we sounded alarm bell that the gentleman was not up to task. The gentleman was displaying some obscene degree of greed and selfishness, and his dealings at the finance ministry were actually fishy and shady. We sounded that alarm bell. The investigations that have been done so far by the state authorities have vindicated members of Arise Ghana. So that is why we are here, to tell the American authority or the American government that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta must be deported. He must be deported to Ghana. I understand that through one of his cousins that he is entertaining some apprehension. What we would like to tell him now is that Ghana is a creature of law, and it is law that regulates our conduct in Ghana. So therefore, if he comes to Ghana, nobody will maltreat him. He will not be mistreated. He will not be given any ill treatment. He will actually be taken to the due process that is enshrined in Article 19, as enshrined in the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th Amendment of the American Constitution, which was actually ratified in 1791. The same thing that obtains here in Ghana. Fair trial, fair trial. That is it. So if Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta comes back to Ghana today, and Arise Ghana observes that his rights are being infringed upon, we will definitely be up in arms against the government. Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta must come back to Ghana to account to the good people of Ghana, because accountability and democracy, they are conjoined, they are Siamese twins. And to be blunt, accountability is a sine qua non. That is the bedrock of democracy. Without that, democracy crumbles.
But this can be done virtually, don't you think so?
It can be done how?
Virtually.
Virtually, you mean?
Yes, yes.
Oh, we live in two worlds now. We live in the actual world and the virtual world. I am having this interview with you virtually.
Yeah.
You understand? And we are doing the picket actually. You understand? So that tells you the beauty of the world today. That we have actually, today we have two worlds.
So it's okay.
The actual world.
So isn't?
And then the virtual world.
So then it's okay for this to be done virtually, right? The hearing can be done virtually.
You mean it can be done virtually with the American authorities here?
No, I'm saying because the American authorities are actually having a virtual conversation with Ken today. The hearing is virtual. And I'm saying that Ghana and Ken's hearing should also be virtual. Don't you think so?
Virtual? No, but that decision or option, it's something that if you want to exercise it, you exercise it in a manner that will strengthen your case, that will make you sound will make your case convincing and incontrovertible. So if we decide to, like we're doing now, we decided to do picket, not virtual, but actual. We're doing it physically here. That is an option we are exploring. So if somebody else decides to do virtual, that is the person's, so to speak, business.
So then I'm saying you are picketing at the United U.S. Embassy this morning, right?
Yes.
Because you want Ken back, right?
Yeah, we want Ken back.
Now, Ken's lawyers proposed a virtual meeting or a virtual...
They proposed what?
A virtual conversation with the OSP and the Attorney General. Why don't you think that should work?
That you mean as citizens of this country who are exercising our civic right, we should also engage in the virtual?
No, I think you are not getting me.
I'm not getting your question.
All right. So
I'm not getting your question.
Earlier in 2025, we heard from the Office of the Special Prosecutor saying that they wanted Ken back for an interrogation. Now, his lawyers, that's Ken's lawyers, also wrote back citing health reasons and that it can be done, the interrogation can be done virtually. And I'm asking, why can't that be done?
You mean, why can't we explore the virtual meeting
between Ken and the Attorney General?
Oh no, but that is something for the Attorney General to exercise. In fact, I am not going to attempt to hold brief for the Attorney General. We don't speak. Arise Ghana doesn't speak for the Attorney General.
So why do you want him back? Why do you want him back?
Arise Ghana doesn't decide or doesn't take decision for the Attorney General. Attorney General actually explores the strategies available to him that he thinks that must, when used or utilized properly, will bring Ken back to Ghana. This is what Arise Ghana has also decided to do by converging in front of the American embassy to press home the critical need for Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta to be brought back to Ghana.
All right. And how long is the picketing happening?
The the duration is actually 2 weeks. So this exercise will be done 2 weeks.
So if
Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta fails to come back to Ghana, or he doesn't come back to Ghana, members of Arise Ghana will do another 2 weeks.
2 solid weeks. You'll be there.
Yes.
Will you sleep there?
So I invite you and your reporters to come here to also be part of this call. It's a patriotic call. It's a patriotic exercise you have embarked on. Unless, of course, you were not given any haircut. But if indeed you were given a haircut, you should be here this morning. As soon as you are done with your program this morning, I would like to see you here.
All right. Thank you for the invitation. I was going to say something else. So are you sleeping there?
Investigation, don't worry.
Are you sleeping there?
Not investigation, so don't worry.
Are you sleeping there, though?
Say that again.
Are you going to sleep there?
If the need arises.
Okay. Thank you very much for speaking with us, Selom. We are grateful.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. Selom is the convener for Arise Ghana. For 2 weeks, they'll be picketing at the U.S. Embassy. Victoria, you were laughing. Why are you surprised?
I wasn't laughing at Arise Ghana's decision to picket at the American Embassy. But, Janet's sense of humor, and her confidence that her party will win power and build the National Cathedral. And also, if that doesn't happen under the NDC administration, she will decide to take her 100 cities back, as she contributed in support of that.
Not only that, Presby Church will contribute huge sums of money. So
the Presby Church, okay. I mean, that's well noted. However, I feel that we are talking about accountability, good governance. It is in the right order that Ofori-Atta avails himself if the Attorney General, as Selom rightly stated, decides that a virtual will happen. I'm sure whatever the issues are, we will eventually come to the bottom of it. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is for the accountability process and justice to take its course. The taxpayers' money is money that, Janet, you will need to build the National Cathedral. The money that Presby Church contributed alone cannot build the cathedral. It cannot drive away witches in this country. So I pray that Ken Ofori-Atta avails himself. If we decide to go virtual, if we decide to do, the extradition happens, and then we are able to have him in Ghana, I believe that we will be able to retrieve the contract agreements between the ECG and some companies that were listed, the 307 Mercedes-Benz ambulance issues, and all of these matters will be brought to the full bear of Ghanaians for us to, understand the full benefits and also to get whatever monies that are, involved.
Okay. We have some messages coming in. I'll ask you a question just before we end. It's just for people who are saying that this is more, a political thing than it is, an accountability thing. What do you say to Ghanaians who say this?
I mean, Ghanaians have the right to criticize or to appraise whatever issues that are brought forth. This is the NDC administration, or let's say the John Mahama-led administration, that was actually born by the NDC government. And so it is obvious that if any issues are happening, or if the call for accountability is being meted out to some persons or individuals who belong to the previous administration, it is normal for people to react in such a manner. But I, speaking in the capacity of the NDC, is telling Ghanaians that this is not a witch hunt. This is an accountability process.
And it's not political.
It is not political. It has happened in previous governments. Even as we speak, Madam Sedina Tamaklo, who served under the NDC government and was charged under the MPP government, today, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's leadership, is also being called to be extradited to this country. And so it's clearly not a witch hunt. This is pure procedure that must happen for the good people of Ghana to receive the good benefits of the processes that will take place and intend be able to help us to build the economy and reset Ghana.
Okay.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has proposed.
All right, so some messages coming in. Good morning, Rosalie and your team. Please said Ofori-Atta Maklo was not tried in absentia from the onset. She was investigated, arrested, and arraigned before a competent court of jurisdiction and was granted bail. It was when she violated the terms of her bail conditions that the state activated the trial in absentia. The state even took steps to take on her sureties, but it was not successful. So those saying he should be tried in absentia should have a rethink. Where does the OSP start? Junior Kilson from Kase. Okay. And Nane Kwamo Boateng says, good morning, Rosalind. Dear NPP delegates, we have 11 days to elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as our presidential candidate, leading to victory 2028. Anyway, greetings to Adrian Kessia John Bwedu, our incoming national chairman of the NPP. So for those of you who say we don't read NPP messages, you have seen, we have read. Thank you very much. Good morning. I can't fathom how people make commentaries on Ken's issue and make conclusions. The man is only accused and not convicted of any crime. Let's stop peddling this propaganda for public sympathy. Again, this is not an NDC message. Thank you very much. Teacher, could you? Yes, because we keep getting that conversation.
Right.
People keep coming to us. You don't read NPP messages. I say, when your messages come, we'll read. I don't even know who is NPP and who is NDC.
But when NPP was in government, the same thing was being said.
Exactly.
Yes, so it's normal.
But I don't even know. You see how the messages are
usually even for them.
you see how the messages are?
Yeah.
Janet, I can't tell who is NPP and who is NDC.
Right.
I can only tap it and I'll read. So whoever I tap, I will read your own. How will I know you're NPP or NDC? God have mercy. Teacher Kujo Tepa so. Okay. Dear Dr. Bawumia has demonstrated his service abilities to the NPP and all Ghanaians. There is no other name among all those seeking to lead the NPP that has achieved anything for the NPP and the people of Ghana other than Bawumia. It was simple as that. I know what Bawumia has achieved for Ghana, but I am unsure what Ken Ejapong has achieved for Ghana. He may have achieved for himself, but not for Ghana. Those who are responsible for electing the NPP flag bearer must elect Dr. Bawumia. Greetings to Honorable Eric. Okay, another NPP, we read it. Greetings to you and your panelists. In fact, if not hypocrisy and witch hunting, how will you demand the extradition of an accused Ken rather than a convict Tamaklo? Their interest is to detain Ken and demand for his great-grandfather as his bail condition. Sir Joe Baba Bolgatanga. Good morning, Rosalind. From the facial expressions of Janet, one can tell she's completely confused and doesn't know. Oh, please, I don't want to read this one. I'm sorry. I think I did this one already. Okay. Good morning, Madam Host. Oh, no, this is, when was it? Hey, now, this message there, when did they come? You say it's today, but say awal. There's no awal in the studio, or you were sending it somewhere and you brought it here. Awal is not in our studio today. Meshak Asante in Amasaman, I will continue to advocate for the reintroduction of price control to regulate the market in order to avoid wickedness and selfishness in the system. The government has done so very well to ease pressure and burden from ordinary citizens, but black man with a bad mentality has decided to enrich his or herself at the expense of other colleague Ghanaians. Look at how the price of fuel has dropped down drastically, but drivers are still cheating on passengers by charging undeserving fares. And if it is not wickedness, then what else can I describe it? It's time President Mahama put his feet down and make sure his good work is benefited by all Ghanaians. Any more messages? OPK Patriotic Voices says, regards to Dr. Digitalization, Baumia incoming flag bearer of the NPP, and Mr. Samuel Oseisa Kodie incoming NPP Eastern Regional youth. Ghana is heading in the wrong direction under the bad leadership of Mahama and NDC government, who are not spending on their artificial inflation and stability of the city, but prices of goods and services keeps on increasing every day. Judicial services are threatening for an indefinite strike over 9 months salary arrears. Some teachers over 6,000 and some nurses have not been paid for 13 to 15 months, threatening to sue the government in court at the end of this month. Galamsey is in its worst state, with the NDC gurus doing it with impunity, destroying our land. Destroying our land. Oh, okay. It's not reading more. It's not. Okay, let me see. Destroying our land. Thank you very much for helping me. Okay, destroying our lands, water bodies, and food crops, 24-hour economy, one job, 3 people is missing in action with the unemployment rate very high. In 1 year, utility tariffs have been increased by over 40%, worsening the hardships of Ghanaians. So we must insist or resist the oppressors' rule by voting for MPP in 2028 with Dr. Baumia as president to rescue us from the incompetent, insensitive, clueless, and hopeless government of Mahama and NDC. Regards to Honorable Sampine. Okay, thank you so much. Let me go to the top and see. This is from where? Kindly desist from labeling the opinions with party colors. Okay, the fact that someone opines in support of Ken's stance doesn't make them MPP. Okay, no, you sometimes, I didn't say it's MPP, I said I'm not reading only NDC messages, please. Thank you so much for sending your message though. Good morning, Joy Prime. Does that mean Madam Janet doesn't see anything wrong with the issue surrounding the decision of building a National Cathedral at a place where we had a lot of existing, that's important and expensive facilities and structures? Has she considered the cost of even demolition alone? Let's talk about the cost of paying for the demolished properties. Couldn't a new site have been secured for the project? Is she aware of the amount of money sunk in just the preparation stage, for which reason a lot of board members, distinguished men of God, resigned? She shouldn't forget in the first place that this was a personal promise with personal funds, but later turned out to be otherwise. All right, so unfortunately, this is all time will permit us for the messages. So we'll take your final opinions and then we'll go. Janet, I'll start with you.
I heard you talking about whether Ken Ofori-Atta, they are politicizing it, and I think that is what we are doing. Ken Ofori-Atta issues are being politicized, and you can see that people are having vendetta against Ken Ofori-Atta. You can see the passion. Someone even said that I had a haircut, and because of that, Ken Ofori-Atta did not get up to do a haircut because he hated the people of Ghana. It was difficult for his government too, but it was a decision that needed to be made for Ghana to move on. Every decision that he took is also surrounding his office. What did you want him to do? So when you get up and because of issues that someone picked, these are the issues that US will even use to cancel any extradition measures that we use against Ken Ofori-Atta. That a finance minister pick a decision, and because you were affected, you think that it's a personal thing, and you start targeting the person's personality, not even the issue at hand. What prevents you? Now we have a virtual way of doing things, and US, they are doing it. All countries are doing it. What prevents you from using the same means to try Ken Ofori-Atta? So when you look at all these things that are happening, Ghanaians, not only Ghanaians, even the US will support Ken Ofori-Atta that he's being victimized. This country, we are like, it is a vendetta.
You think he's being victimized?
He's being victimized. Ken Ofori-Atta is being victimized. And you know something? They have tried to create it in the minds of Ghanaians that anyone who supports Ken Ofori-Atta is a corrupt person. But the truth is that those who are against Ken Ofori-Atta are corrupt. Majority of them. But they will do like, they are trying to push the narrative that whenever someone comes out and try to support Ken Ofori-Atta, they do like, you are the corrupt one. I don't know Ken Ofori-Atta, and God knows that I've never spoken to him before. I've never met him before. So I'm not doing this based on personal grounds. I'm doing it because it is the right thing to do. Use the virtual and stop all these things. NDC, implement on your policies and stop using Ken Ofori-Atta to cover your incompetences.
All right, thank you very much, Victoria.
That's true.
Oh, Janet. You see, the NDC is doing so much for Ghanaians, and it's clear in our inflation, the GDP, our economic growth, and all that. And so, Janet, I must assure you that the NDC-led administration by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who is currently leading this nation, will do justice to our country, and the right things or the right policies will be put in place, and Ghanaians will be happy. Now, back to Ofori-Atta. When the lawyer was speaking, I was paying attention to him. He made mention of the fact that Ofori-Atta has served in a very high position in this country, and therefore he must be accorded some respect. I mean, for me, I want to advise that he should avail himself for the investigations to take place. If it's a meeting, whether we decide virtually, whether he's supposed to appear here after
he's willing to do virtual, though.
He's willing to do virtual. That's okay. I mean, we're also looking at extradition processes. If that happens, I'm sure that he'll be in this country, and then he faces the full rigors of the law. And then the accountability processes will be laid bare to all Ghanaians. Now, my advice to young people who are into politics today, that before you sign up to be a politician, remember that whatever that you do, you must be accountable to the people. And when the time comes, you don't have to drag your feet. You don't have to go out there for ICE to, start investigating you and start questioning you on immigration issues and detaining you. I mean, if Ofori-Atta had come to this country, I know and I'm very confident in the Attorney General of this country that he wouldn't have been mishandled or even detained. He would definitely have been given the privilege. As a former finance minister that he was, he would have been given that privilege. I don't think he would have been here today.
All right.
And you know the truth, I want Ghanaians to know something. There are several people that are facing trial. Some whose issues have been brought to the Attorney General. Some that are facing persecutions, and it is not even in the limelight. And there are people who have also done great disservice to this country. We have the likes of Gabi Ochiedako, who was then our prime minister in this country. They are all walking about
We
freely.
didn't have an official prime minister.
I mean, however,
we didn't have an official
okay. So
prime minister,
let's call it. Okay. So however we deem it, I mean, his role that he played was somehow of a prime minister, and I think that some of these people
we didn't see a role
must be called.
Thank you.
They must be called to account to the
Victoria,
people.
They have particular people that they are using personal.
Is up, and I don't know if Richard is still on, but Richard, thank you so much for joining us. Richard is a constitutional lawyer, and he joined us to let us explain the legal aspects of this. Made us aware that the hearing for today is completely immigration. Victoria Abdullahi joined us, and she represented the NDC, and Janet Asana Nabla represented the PNP, and that is the party that she wants to contest on as a presidential candidate. There's all time of permitters for the news segment.